Hello and welcome everyone. Today here in this video we'll be learning a new chapter. The name of the chapter is The Diary of a Young Girl. Why the name is so? Because this is an extract taken from a diary written by a young girl whose name was Anne Frank. Okay. So Anne Frank was born in Germany and she was Jewish by religion. Okay, later on what happened when Hitler rose to power, Jewish had to hit themselves because they were Hitler was sending all Jews to concentration camp, okay, killing them. So what happened, this Frank family along with two more families hid themselves in an attic of a house. Okay, there she started writing, and Frank there started writing a diary. And this chapter which we will be learning today is a extract. Okay, it's just a small portion of that diary. However, they were killed in that attic, and later on posthumously her diary became famous, and Anne Frank also became very famous. So let us start this chapter. Sunday, June 14, 1942. So now from here she has started writing her diary. Okay, I'll begin. So you can also look at the picture of this 13-year-old girl. She is the one who wrote this. Okay, I'll begin from the moment I got you, the moment I saw you lying on the table among my other birthday presents. I went along when you were bought, but that doesn't count. So what Anne is saying, that she will write from the moment she saw this diary, the moment she saw this diary lying on the table among other birthday present. And how she was so sure, because she also went along with the family members when this diary was bought for her. On Friday, June 12th, I was awake at 6 o'clock, which isn't surprising since it was my birthday, but I'm not allowed to get up at that hour, so I had to control my curiosity until 7:15. When I couldn't wait any longer, I went to the dining room where Moji welcomed me by rubbing against my legs. So Moji is the cat, okay? So again she is writing that on 12th June she was awake by 6 o'clock. Okay, she was early. She was awake by 6 o'clock, which was early, but it was not surprising because it was her birthday. But I'm not allowed to get up at that hour. She is not allowed to. So what she did, she had to control her curiosity to get up until 7:15. So she woke up at 6, but for 45 minutes she had to lie down on her bed because she was not allowed to come out of the bed. When I couldn't wait any longer, I went to the dining room. So finally she thought, now it's too much, now I cannot control my curiosity. So she went to the dining room, and what was there? Her cat was welcoming her by rubbing against her legs. Okay. A little after 7, I went to Daddy and Mama and then to the living room to open my presents, and you were the first thing I saw, maybe one of my nicest presents. Then the bouquet of roses, some peonies, and potted plant. So little after 7. So after 7, what happened? She went to Daddy and Mom, her mother, and then she went to living room to open her birthday presents. And what did she see? The first thing that she saw was the diary, and she felt that it was the best present. So you can see that she was writer from the beginning only because she felt happy to see the diary. Then also there was some bouquet of roses and some peonies. So peonies are the plant, those are also flowers, okay, and some potted plant. From Daddy and Mama, I got a blue blouse, a game, a bottle of grape juice, which to my mind tasted like a wine. So generally grape juice, if it's not fresh, then the taste of grape juice is quite similar to the wine because wines are made out of grape juice. Okay. All wine is made from grapes. A puzzle, a jar of cold cream. Okay, so these are the gift that she got. Gilders, a gift certificate for 2 books. I got another book as well, Camera Obscura, but Margaret already has it, so I exchanged mine for something else. A platter of homemade cookies, which I made myself, of course, since I have become quite an expert at baking cookies. So she also made some cookies herself, because she's saying here that she has become an expert at baking cookies, so she's made some. Okay, lot of candies and strawberry tart from mother, and a letter from Grammy right on time. But of course, that was just a coincidence. Okay. Then Haneli came to pick me up and we went to school. During recess, recess means tiffin break, okay? During recess, I passed out cookies to my teachers and my class, and then it was time to get back to work. So what happened? She goes to school, and then during the recess, whatever things she carried from home, like cookies and everything, she gives it share it with her teacher and to with her classmate. You also do so, right? On your birthday you might bring chocolates and give it to your friends, okay? So she did the same, and then it was time to get back to work. I didn't arrive home until 5 since I went to gym with the rest of the class. I'm not allowed to take part because my shoulders and hips tend to get dislocated. So she has this problem. Okay, dislocation means to leave the original place. So sometimes it happens with the muscles. So she did not go to the gym as it was her birthday. Okay, as it was my birthday, I got to decide which game my classmates would play, and I chose volleyball. So since it was her birthday, so the decision, she had the power to take the decision which game will the entire class play, and on that day Anne chose volleyball. Afterward, they all danced around me in a circle and sang happy birthday. When I got home, San Lerdeman was already there. Wagner, Hanneli Gosler, and Jacqueline Van Marsen came home with me after gym. Since we are in the same class, so all these friends, all her classmates came along with her, okay, to home. Hanneli and San used to be my two best friends. People who saw us together used to say, "There goes Anne, Han, and San." Okay, so they are the best friends. You can see people used to tease them by rhyming their names. I only met Jacqueline Van Marsen when I started at the Jewish, and now she is my best friend. Uh, else is Hannel's best friend, and San goes to another school and has friends there. So she is now here telling her about the friends that she has. Okay. Now see here, when I started going Jewish like CM, why? Because earlier what happened, everybody used to study in same school, but after Hitler chose to power, he said that no, Jewish child will go to only Jewish school. That's why she was shifted to Jewish school. They gave me a beautiful book, Dutch Sagas and Legends, but they gave me volume 2 by mistake. So I exchanged two other book for volume 1. So they also gave her some book, but by mistake it was volume 2. So to exchange that, she gave two more books. Okay. Aunt Helen brought me a puzzle. Aunt Stephanie a darling brooch, and Aunt Lenny a terrific book, Daisy Goes to the Mountain. So these are the books which she got as a gift. Okay. These morning I lay in the bathtub thinking how wonderful it would be if I had a dog like Rin Tin Tin. I would call him Rin Tin Tin too, and I would take him to school with me excuse me, where he could stay in the janitor's room or by the bicycle rack when the weather was good. So now she was imagining in her bathtub, taking bath and imagining that it would be wonderful if she had a dog. Okay, she would call her Rin Tin too, and she would also take her to the school. So now we can see that at that time dogs were allowed with the students to the school, which these days aren't allowed. Okay. Now see, Sunday, June 21, 1942. Now after 14th, I told you that this is an extract. So on Sunday, what she wrote is what written here. Okay. Dearest Kitty, our entire class is quacking in its boots. The reason, of course, is upcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will be promoted to the next grade and who will be kept back. Half the class is making bets. So see, the entire class is quacking in its boot. Quacking, you all know, this is the sound made by duck. Quack, quack. Okay. So now everybody is making such kind of sounds in boots. Okay. And why? Because of the meeting. And what kind of meeting? Promotion meeting, which means just after final exam, teachers decide according to your result that who will be promoting. Similarly, there also there was a meeting, and this happens in your class also, I guess. So they were also making bets like you will pass or I will fail. Okay, these kind of things were going around. GZ and I laugh ourselves sick at the two boys behind us, CN and Jackie Coconut, who have staked the entire vacation saving on their bed. See, they are so stupid that whatever savings they had in the vacation, they stake the entire vacation, means they gave all those for the bet. Okay, from morning to night, it's you are going to pass, no I am not, yes you are, no I am not. So these was happening in the classroom. Everyone was pointing each other whether they will pass or not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outburst can't calm them down. So what happened? G's and Anne was getting angry, but this couldn't calm down the bet or the noises that was going inside the classroom. If you ask me, who is saying this? This is said by Anne. According to Anne, if you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. So she thinks that there are so many people who are actually dummies, they are silly, and they should be kept back and not be promoted. But teachers are most unpredictable creatures on earth. So according to her, teachers are unpredictable. Okay, so she cannot predict about the teacher. Teacher might promote them. I'm not so worried about my girlfriends and myself. And she's saying that I'm not worried. We all know what will happen in our future, what will happen. So we are not worried. We will make it. The only subject I'm not sure about is maths. So she is sure that she will pass, she will be promoted, and she is not sure about only one subject, and that is mathematics. Anyway, all we can do is wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. So obviously, unless the result is announced, the only thing that student can do is to wait. Okay. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. So Anne here is saying that she has good relationship with all the teachers. Mr. Keesing, the old foggy who teaches maths. Okay. Now see, foggy here means an old-fashioned person. So according to Anne, Mr. Keesing, the math teacher, is an old-fashioned person. Okay, and he was always mad at Anne. Why? Because I talked so much. Because Anne was a talkative girl. She was a chatterbox. She was a talkative girl. That is why Keesing was always angry at Anne. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework, an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. A chatterbox. What can you write about that? I would worry about that later. I decided. I jotted down the assignment in the notebook, tucked it in my bag, and tried to keep quiet. So see, after several warnings, for initially the math teacher gave several warning to Annie for not to make noise and not to talk inside the classroom, but she could not keep herself quiet. And finally, Mr. Keesing, the math teacher, what he did, he gave Annie a homework, an assignment to write an essay on the topic chatterbox. Chatterbox generally means someone who is very talkative. Okay. That evening, now she started thinking what to write on this topic. That evening, after I had finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. I began thinking about this subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words, but the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. So that evening she finished everything, all her homework, and then now she started to think about the essay. Now she thought that what she should write, she should leave some spaces and make it big. But finally what happened? She thought no, she will not write anything about the essay, but she wrote her point as why she keeps talking. Okay, and why she keeps talking? I wrote 3 pages. Mr. Keesing has assigned me and was satisfied. I argued that talking is a female trait. So see, she did not wrote about the chatterbox. She wrote that I keep talking because it is a female trait. Trait means quality. Okay. So like putting makeup is a female trait. Okay. Dressing up womanly is a female trait. Okay. So similarly, talking is also female trait according to Anne, and she wrote that. And she said that I would do my best to keep it under control, but that I would never be able to break myself of the habit, since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that's there not much you can do about inherited traits. So she said that first talking is a female trait, Okay, and I will try to keep this trait, this quality of mine under control by not talking. But then I don't think I'll be able to do this much, because my mother has the habit of talking. Okay, and this I have inherited, this quality I have got from my mother. And generally what happen when you get some inherited qualities, so that stays with you. So that is why Annie is saying that these are inherited traits and there's not much to do. Mr. Keesing Mr. Keesing had a good laugh at my arguments when I proceeded to talk my way through the next class. He assigned me a second essay. Now, Mr. Keesing, when he saw these arguments, when he read those arguments, he started laughing, and then he gave one more essay. What was this essay? This time it was supposed to be on an incorrigible chatterbox. Okay, incorrigible means a behavior that is impossible to change, because Anne said that I cannot change my behavior of talking. So he said that you cannot change, so you write a essay again on this topic, an incorrigible chatterbox. I handed it in, and Mr. Keesing had nothing to complain about for whole 2 classes. So she wrote it and she gave it to Mr. Keesing, and Mr. Keesing did not complain. Okay. However, during the 3rd class, he had finally had enough. And Frank, as a punishment for talking in the class, write an essay entitled "Quack, Quack, Quack," said Mistress Chatterback. So, for 2 classes, Keesing did not complain, but finally, Keesing said that it is too much, you keep talking. So, as a punishment, again you have to write an essay. And this time, what was the title of the essay? "Quack, Quack, Quack," said Mistress Chatterback. Okay. The class roared means they were laughing when everybody laughed at the same time. So these roared means here in the class everybody laughed. Okay, the class roared. I had to laugh too, though I had nearly exhausted my ingenuity on the topic of chatterboxes. It was time to come up with something else, something original, my friend. So now he's saying that the class laughed and I also laughed, but now this time again I have to write something about this new topic. Quack, 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 said Mr. Chatterback. My friend Sen, who's good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in the verse. So this time her friend helped her in writing the essay. I jumped for joy. Keesing was trying to play a joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I had made sure the joke was on him. So she was very happy because the friend who helped Anne was very good in writing poetry. Okay, so this time she wrote a very good poem type essay, and she was happy because she thought that Keesing was trying to make a joke. Obviously, Mr. Keesing was playing a joke, right, by giving such a stupid non type of essay like "Quack, quack, quack," said Mr. Chatterback. But she was very happy that I made sure that the joke was on him, so she wrote the poem. And it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and a father swan and 3 baby ducklings who were bitten to death by a father because they quacked too much. So this is the story she wrote in the poem. Give poem as an assignment. Okay. So she wrote the poem. In this story, there was a mother duck, there was a father swan, and there was 3 baby ducklings. So those ducklings were bitten to death. Means they were bitten to death by father because they quacked too much. So these ducklings quacked too much, and father killed them. Okay. Luckily, Keesing took the joke the right way. So she is laughing because she understood that actually she was pointing Mr. Keesing. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments, and to several other classes as well. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. Okay. So after this, what happened? Keesing did not give her any extra homework or assignment for her, and she was also allowed to talk inside the classroom. Okay. On the contrary, Keesing always making jokes these days. So she feels that after the poem which she wrote, Keesing these days has become very light and keeps making jokes. Okay, so this is all about the diary of a young girl. And children, you will learn the word meaning of all the chapters. Okay, question answer I'll be posting. I think I've already posted the question answers. Okay, thank you.